Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That it?
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year.
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.
Welcome to episode 59 of Birds vs. Boys. KMS here with you, back from my vacation. Even though I did jump into episode 58, the schedule release party, a little bit last week. If you didn't listen, make sure you go back on the YouTube channel or Spotify or Apple, wherever you listen, and check that out. But KMS and Aiden back together. Producer Vince not with us. A touch of food poisoning. Aiden, do you believe it? Do we not believe it?
I mean, I can believe it, but Michael Jordan, he had a flu game, food poisoning, went out too hard the night before, and he showed up for work the next day. So, yeah, I believe it. But I think the kids on TikTok are going to be really disappointed not to see him.
I know when they just see me and you, they're just like, they're just going to swipe. Do you swipe up on TikTok? I think, yeah, they're just going to.
Yep, they're just going to keep scrolling. They're going to be like, look at these two idiots actually talking about football.
We don't care about
what
that.
A joke. Yeah, we're not here for the actual football.
No, we're here. They're here for Vince and his Nuggets, but we're here to talk about football, and hopefully you are here to listen to us talk about football. So, Aiden, do you have any technical notes before we dive into the plethora of football things that we have to talk about?
Not too much tonight, but just based on where the NFL schedule is. Mm-hmm. I'm on day 12 of no caffeine, and I think the NFL schedule at this point feels like how day 12 of no caffeine is.
Time out. Why are we doing no caffeine? I didn't know.
I just need I need a healthy alternative to what the caffeine that I'm consuming. You know,
how much caffeine were you drinking a day?
I didn't drink. I took caffeine pills because coffee is just, I can't stand coffee. What is the benefit?
All right. So I will tell you, and this is going to age me too. I drank no coffee until I hit 30. Now, espresso every morning, black. When I drink coffee, I drink it black. I've become an old person, and I love coffee. And I literally, Starbucks or Dunkin', cold brew, black.
See, when I had it, which was not often, it would be black. Because it's like, you and I are healthy guys. You just got this Apple Watch, and this is now dictating your life and everything that you do.
47 is my resting heart rate, everyone. 47 during the day. 38 while I sleep.
See, there you go.
Some have asked if I am Thor. It's possible.
Possible. You were like George Kittle. But yeah, so I see a bunch of people just dump sugar and cream in it, and I'm like, oh, that shit's not going to fly. So if I did it, it would be black. But I didn't like it because it's still okay, coffee. Okay, pro, gives you energy. Con, your stomach hurts all day. Your breath smells. It stains your teeth. You're jittery. Your hands are fluttering around all day. So it's all right, well, this doesn't really working out. None of these problems happen if you just take an Adderall.
Get yourself an espresso machine, okay? And you pop the pot in there in the morning, little espresso cup, gone. And you jet fuel, and it's not doesn't give you the stomach issue. It's not a long cup of coffee. It's the best. When we were in Italy, okay, they drink the stuff all day long. You just you're just walking through Florence, right? And there's just coffee shops everywhere. And the Italians just go in, espresso, and they just walk up, they hand them one, and then they're out the door. It's beautiful.
I was about to say that fits to the Italian stereotype, so it's good to know that's actually true.
Oh, 100%.
It's an actual thing.
We went into a coffee place, and I said, we'll just have 2 espressos, please. He goes, it's not just espresso. It's a necessary. Yelled at me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. It's like when you go to get a
necessary espressos, please.
Yes. It's like when you go to get a cheesesteak, and you don't actually say, may I have a cheesesteak, please, sir? You're like, I need one. I need no onions, and I want American cheese. That must be the Italian espressos or the Italian cheesesteak.
Yes.
I had a guy.
If you order wrong, you're out.
They don't even take your order. They don't even dignify you as a human being if you mess it up.
And I know this is a football show where it's turned into a coffee show here.
Listen, it's the off season. We can talk about whatever the hell we want to.
In Italy, too, you can't order a cappuccino after 11 a.m. because coffee with milk in it is a morning drink. Can't have coffee with milk in it after the morning.
See, another thing with coffee. I don't want milk. Don't want milk.
Cappuccino, a little warmed up milk with the froth, delicious.
See, no. I had a guy. I toured him when I was doing real estate, and we were talking about. That was when I was trying coffee. So I was like, I tried coffee this morning, and he and I both worked out. So we both took pre-workout, and I said the days that I'm doing this together at 2 a.m, my eyes are wide open, and I'm just sitting in bed ready to do 500 jumping jacks instead of sleeping. And he was like, "Yeah, I have that problem too because I take pre-workout throughout the day." He goes, "Yeah, I take I'll drink it like casually. I'll have like 4 scoops a day." I was like, "Wait,
His heart's gonna explode."
Did you ever? Yeah, I was like, "Did you ever read the label?" I was like genuinely concerned.
Like you're supposed to have a half a scoop.
Heart explodes.
Like a half a scoop a day. Like I had Mr. Hyde, and they're like, "Do not ever have more than a scoop within 24 hours, ever."
Yeah, I was
or
going to say,
you'll die.
You take one scoop. Also, people who dry scoop it, maniacs.
I do.
Anything you do that? Doesn't the dust bother you though?
Man up.
I guess
you gotta quit. So this is I haven't drank pre-workout in a long time, but that's what I used to do. And I used to dry, and then I'd take my gallon of water and sip it. But the problem is then the water tastes like the pre-workout the rest of the day. Not good.
I guess, yeah. So then I guess that defeats the purpose of just dumping it in water to begin with.
Yes.
Yeah. So those people are maniacs. But I was literally like, 4 scoops. Like, have you ever read the label? Like what it says? And it says like, hey, you will definitely have a heart attack if you do more than like 2. I did not know what to say. Like, it's one of those things you don't know the guy, so you don't want to be like if it was my friend, I'd be like, hey, idiot, read the fucking label. It says don't do that. I didn't want to do it with like a random stranger, but I was genuinely concerned.
I will tell you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, one, it's not a pre-workout, and I don't like energy drinks. Like, I don't like Monster or Red Bull, but Bang. If you've ever had Bang, and if the people from Bang are listening and you want to sponsor a podcast, this is a great podcast to sponsor. Bang is delicious. It has BCAAs in it, a little creatine as well. You can. And they also now have had one recently. They have iced tea and like sweet tea ones. It literally just tastes like an iced tea. And then you get some energy from it. Delicious.
Wow. I've seen a bunch of those cans. I've seen those a lot.
They're good.
So I might have to try those. I remember Jacked.
Oh yeah.
Remember
Jack
that?
3D?
Yeah. And they literally had to ban it.
Yes.
You ever take it?
Once. Yeah. Never again.
I took it. My friend concocted something. This was probably dangerous. They gave it to me, and it was like a pre-workout mixed with Jacked, and I could feel my heart through my chest. I was like, I'd never do it. And I was like, okay. It was a great workout. Incredible workout. I was like, why did we do this? It seems like a really bad idea.
I was in Chicago once, and I was drinking. I was on a work training trip, and it was the weekend, had nothing to do. We were there for 2 weeks. Me and the one guy were going out in the city. We're drinking all night. I brought caffeine pills like you had, and we were getting tired. Popped 2 of them in the middle, got the energy, drank. Worst hangover of my life the next day. And we had to drive to Purdue to go watch Notre Dame Purdue. Worst experience of my life.
The drive after being hungover, especially like that. Pretty sure caffeine constricts your blood vessels in your head too. So they're already constricted because you're boozing. So it's like, it just feels like your head is shriveled up. Like your head is shrinking, your brain, and it's just like your head is closing in on your brain.
And that's 10 minutes of caffeine talk here, brought to you by Birds vs. Boys.
And that's the technical notes for tonight.
Follow the YouTube channel and everywhere else.
And everywhere else. And I think I said it last episode. We were over 100,000 followers or 100,000 likes on TikTok. And now I think it hit 1,700? Yeah. 1,700 followers. So thank you. No guests tonight, but we're all lining up a bunch and talked to a few people this week. And maybe by the time we do technical notes, we'll be introducing Bang as a sponsor.
Maybe we should bring out a barista from Starbucks on. Talk about coffee.
Maybe I should find that guy and make sure he's still alive and bring him on
Yes.
just to tell his tales.
Are you here? Still with us?
Yeah. 1, are you alive? 2, would you like to do an interview on the miracle that you are alive?
All right. Football. So before we get into Cowboys, Eagles, mini camp stuff and free agent signing. So the number changes are happening right around the league. And I'm cool with the number changes because like Micah Parsons is going to wear his 11. And I think it looks sick on him. Cedric Wilson doesn't need 11. Micah Parsons needs 11. Can't wait to see him flying around, ripping Jalen Hurts' head off this season wearing number 11. But I don't know. There's just some guys like you. I sent it to you the other day. Big Kyle Pitts guys. Still, I can't wait to watch him in the NFL. Wish he was a Cowboy. But he's going to wear 8, right? And his 84 looked so mean. And just a single digit on him, not thrilled with it.
No, the 84 definitely looked more clean. Those photoshops that they had of him in the 84 in the Falcons jersey. And the Falcons jersey, I mean, most people don't even like it. There's been too many jersey swaps, not jersey swaps, but jersey number changes.
Yeah.
Where it went from like, all right, this is a cool thing to, all right, this is kind of dumb. It's like
it's too much.
It's too much. I remember they opened a Sonic in our hometown one time. And it was like, wow, a Sonic. This is cool. You see the commercials all the time. And they look like they have cool commercials. And literally every single person went the first few weeks. There's a line around the building. And I remember going for the first time and being like, this food sucks. Like this change wasn't worth it at all. That's
terrible.
The NFL jersey thing. It's like, all right, this seemed cool at first, but it's not as cool as I thought it was going to be.
No. And you see like a lot of teams now announcing like the different, like on Twitter, they're like, I think Hollywood Brown changed to like 6 for the Ravens or 8. Patrick Queen changed to 8.
He was
something.
6, I think.
Yeah. I think Patrick Queen is 6. Hollywood Brown's 8. And there was a lot of talk, when this was starting to happen about, Ezekiel Elliott putting out there that, that 15 looks fresh. And, CeeDee Lamb won an 8. I don't think there's been any Cowboys changes because Jerry Jones in a press conference kind of put the foot down like, nope, you boys, you're part of the Dallas Cowboys. And that 88 CD, I gave you that 88, Mr. Lamb. You're going to wear that fucking 88 and you're not changing. Mm-mm.
Things are a lot different in Texas.
21. Yeah. Like that. Jerry's just like, nope. Mm-mm. So I don't think there's going to be any changes for the Cowboys.
No.
Besides
I don't think
Wilson losing his number.
I was supposed to say, the Micah Parsons thing wasn't a jersey number change. It was like Jerry Jones was like, you're getting 11.
Jerry was literally like, yeah, no, you're going to have 11.
A lot of the other teams, it's cool. I'm totally fine with it. I think it's been overdone at this point, though. But I guess we'll get used to it because it won't be like that every single season from here on out. We'll just naturally get – and I think college uniforms have always been cooler because there haven't been number restrictions and there's different uniforms and stuff like that. There's more variety, which gives it a little bit of a unique factor compared to the NFL. So I guess with time, we'll just get used to it.
Like this past year in college, too, they had 0. Like I remember in the beginning of the year, I'm like, why do I never remember anyone wearing 0 before? And now I see it everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's because this is the first year you can wear it.
But also never want to be 0, though.
No, but there was a ton in college football.
Yeah. I guess it's like a motivational thing.
Yeah.
Make yourself 0.
If I'm a coach, like I'm changing my worst player the week before, guess what? You're wearing 0 the next game until you earn yourself.
That seems like I don't know, like the next coach of Arkansas to like build the program up would do something like that, where I'm going to make the players wear 0 and headbutt them without a helmet on before each game just to draw like some recruit that might have gone to Tennessee instead. Not even Alabama, just like, I drew somebody away from Tennessee.
From Vanderbilt.
Florida State, yeah.
Oh, speaking of Florida State, Notre Dame opens on the road in Florida State, primetime Sunday night, full capacity crowd. I am an Irish fan. they're going to get smoked.
Are they though? Like, is Florida State good?
I think they're going to be better. They've been building their program back, but is Notre Dame Notre Dame doesn't have a quarterback. They have a lot of young kids. So
Florida State hasn't had a quarterback since Jameis Winston. So
they had Asante Samuel Jr. That's about
they
it.
did. Speaking of him, he's in the NFL. We're back to the NFL.
See how we all bring it back to full circle. But yeah, so that was my just take. I mean, I agree with you. I think the number change thing was kind of overblown, and I just wasn't happy with the Kyle Pitts selection because I really liked him in 84.
No, I think there's been some weird ones. I like Darius Slay better in the 24.
Yeah, what's he wearing now?
2, I believe.
Yeah.
I like 24. 24 was fresh. He did it for Kobe. Just stay with 24.
Yep. Too much. All right. So we've had coffee talk. We've had bang talk, a little bit of number changes. Maybe we'll talk some Eagles Cowboys now. We're about 15 minutes in.
We should. I do have some Eagles points written down that we can discuss, or we could just go a full show of not discussing the NFL at all.
I mean,
totally up to you at this point.
We could talk stateside vodka. We could talk a little Kenwood beer, whatever. Yeah.
Hey,
talk to the people about stateside.
I meant to tell you about this about Kenwood.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I told you guys this. I will say it for everyone who's listening. My coworker saw our shirts and the stream and everything like that, and she was like, "Hey, do you know the guys who run Kenwood?" And I was like, "Yeah, kind of." Like our good friend James, who is doing a phenomenal job saving LaSalle baseball, got us connected with them. And she told me, local from Delco. Not only that, Kenwood's named after the street that they grew up on. I thought that was awesome.
So cool. Like, if you think about that, and just the way that, and their stuff is, I mean, like, look at this. This was from our draft party show. Like, their logo's sick. Is it just like a Philly thing? Like, their logo, the stateside vodka bottle and logo is just fresh. Look at your shirt. It's phenomenal. Like, you can't beat this marketing. So
I like the design of both. I really like the design of both.
And you can drink both in a night. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Have a couple stateside vodka drinks and then switch over and have some Kenny's.
There you go.
It's a beautiful night.
And then play in the Delco softball league, because if you watch every video, they're doing both.
It's perfect. That league would scare me to play, I think, a little bit.
I think so too, because you got to come prepared.
Yeah,
I was going to say it's intense. I feel like
I play baseball. You need to come prepared to play well, and be able to play well while getting belligerently drunk,
and also possibly high.
Yes,
from some of the videos that I've seen, you might have the spins in center field.
You might get the shit beat out of you by somebody. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. It looks fantastic, though.
Eagles, I'll let you go first.
Okay, let's keep this quick because no one wants to hear about football. They probably love the topic.
This is going to be about a 35-minute show, ladies and gentlemen. We're 20 minutes in, and we've talked about caffeine.
That wasn't the plan. What's funny is I actually had a lot of Eagles points written down, but I liked where we went instead. Sometimes you just switch it up on the fly.
Just flop.
I guess we should definitely talk about the fact that the Eagles signed Eagles killer Ryan Kerrigan.
I am so
great signing.
Mad about this.
Yeah, I'm just happy to never have to play him again. It's a great signing based on the fact that he won't sack our quarterback 4 times in 2 games.
I love the fact that he posted the Instagram post and all he put was, "I probably wasn't your favorite player." Like, it's just,
that is correct.
Ever. Me either. Killed us too. And I think producer Vince, when you're back from, pooping on the potty, check the tape somewhere, because I know I said that I wanted Ryan Kerrigan on the Cowboys earlier in this offseason. He would have been a smart signing. A team like Dallas, it just would have been perfect for him to help shape these young players on the defensive line. But, of course, where's he go? Philly, just to bolster another good defensive line. And speaking of defensive lines, stay later for our TikToks.
Yeah, good little teaser there. I think Ryan Kerrigan and the Philadelphia Eagles might come up again in the TikTok tonight. Maybe. But it's a great signing. He has 13 and a half career sacks against the Eagles. I was shocked to learn that it's not 700 because it was really felt that way. It's just a killer. There's just some guys. It's like you watch and you're like, why do you hate Philadelphia? Why do you always do this to us? He's absolutely one of those guys. It was a great signing. It didn't come at much of a cost. You couldn't really spend big this offseason. So to get someone that productive, and I know people have compared him to Chris Long. I don't know about that, but it works
that
in
type of signing.
That type of signing where it's a veteran player who still has a lot to give you. You're not really spending that much money to do it. And he falls into a rotation to give you plenty of depth on that defensive line. I mean, that's a great defensive line as it was. And to add him, I think that is fantastic.
And you're adding a good locker room guy. I hate that cliche, but it's true. He's a leader, and he's gonna hold young dudes accountable and with veterans.
Which is what you're going to have. And look at that defensive line. Like, if you're a young guy playing on defense, having Ryan Kerrigan, Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, those would be the guys that I'd want to learn from. And then you have Darius Slay and Rodney McLeod on the backside. So you've got a lot of guys on defense who you can look up to. And I'm comfortable putting a lot of young players in these guys' hands for the year, especially where you've got a new defensive coordinator, new head coach. So it should be a good hiring in both senses, production and then value in terms of leadership.
Yeah, I love / hated every second of it because, like I said, I wanted him with a star on his helmet, but of course he's going to be coming after Dak Prescott twice a year.
Oh, yeah, it's a relief to not have to play him. I can't think of a more exhausting player in the past few years that we've played.
I thought once the draft came and went, and we were at the point right now where we are in free agency and the offseason, I thought he was just going to end up back in Washington on a cheap deal.
Yeah, and I guess their line of thinking is let's spend money elsewhere because our defensive line is already so good. But or maybe they just want to move on. Like it's run its course there.
And I saw that there were a couple other. I think the Browns were interested in him, Pittsburgh, and I think there was one other team, but he chose to stay in the NFC East.
Thank God. I don't know. I don't know what Pittsburgh or Cleveland could have offered him. They've already, and didn't Jadeveon Clowney sign with the Browns already? And I think it was 1 year up to $10 million. Yep. So I don't know how much they could have offered, but the Eagles only offered up to $3.5 million. So it couldn't have been that far off.
It's a great get.
With that get, the draft went well.
Mm-hmm.
This signing went well. This offseason has been going well recently. Optimism is back. Optimism has returned to Philadelphia, but optimism is the worst enemy of Philadelphia because anytime you have it, that's when things go awry. We need to plug the video, the PSA of Vince last week saying this team will be bad. They will lose games. They will not be good. This team is bad. It's okay to be optimistic, but you gotta just expect this team to not be very good. I am sorry. Like I will watch every game. Here's what it's gonna be. They're gonna be a fun team. They're not gonna be a good team.
Yep, they are gonna be fun. Sirianni's gonna find a way to make the offense fun. I mean, Slim Reaper is gonna be a lot of fun to watch, and that defensive line is gonna make things happen for the defense. So yeah, they're gonna be a flary team. I think they're not gonna be good, but they're gonna be in the hunt for the NFC East, I believe.
Yeah, because it's like if not them, then who else? I guess the Cowboys would be the favorite right now. I trust them with a healthy Dak more than I trust Washington, and I'm at the level of the New York Giants. They're up there with the Jazz. I mean, I could literally watch them win and still wouldn't respect anything that they do. Just sore, whiny losers.
So you said optimism kills Philadelphia always. Yeah. Speaking out of terms of football, we're obviously in the NBA playoffs. The Philadelphia 76ers are the 1 seed. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of hope. Do you trade a Sixers championship for the Eagles to go 0-17?
Yes. Yes. If the Sixers win a title and that means that the Eagles go 0-17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That would actually be ironic because the Sixers sucking is how they got to where they are. So if the Sixers won a title and it caused the Eagles to go through a process and then they got good, I think that would be Yeah, I'm 100%.
Just like one process leading to the other process.
Exactly. Yeah. Blow it up and start again. Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. If we would have the number 1 overall pick next year and possibly 3 first-round picks,
Take Spencer Rattler.
100%. Oh yeah. I would be at the parade, tears of joy, wouldn't care one bit. I'd bring the schedule with me and chalk off every loss right there at the Sixers parade. 100%. Loss. Yeah. I'd get the schedule. I'd put loss. I'd put 17 L's down my arm.
Would you get an 0-17 tattoo next to this?
Yes. Yeah. I have the Super Bowl score right here. And then on my other forearm, I would get, I don't think there's a Roman numeral for 0, is there? I think it's just 0. And then at the Roman numeral for 17.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's what I would do. 100%. Without a doubt.
Yep. You have to do it.
I'm in. I'm 100% in. I guess Ryan Kerrigan will lead us to the promised land. It's nice to be optimistic about the team. Like you don't want to go in pessimistic. I think it's more expectations. Like you should have low expectations right now, and it's okay. Like I genuinely think they could turn this thing around within 2 years.
Did you not hear my expectations from the airport last week about the Dallas Cowboys? What did I say? They're going to win 4 games?
Yeah, no, you're doing that on purpose, though. That's a reverse psychology thing. I genuinely believe that they're not going to be good.
I genuinely believe the Dallas Cowboys defense is not going to be good again.
That's true. But also our defense is probably not going to be great.
But I do have a couple of reasons to be a little optimistic, which I'll get into when you're done.
Good. Perfect. I will. I really don't have that much more so it kind of is off the optimism point. I bet it's the point with Nick Sirianni where it's like, how are you not rooting for this guy? Like he gets people. And I think there's a lot of guys who pretend they get people and they pretend they're people person. And I think a lot of coaches know they can go viral for doing things and trying to be cool with the players. I genuinely think this guy gets the vibe. And
I think he gets young people.
Yes. He's the perfect coach for a bunch of young guys running around where they would listen to him and learn, and he understands them, and I know it's probably because he's young too. But the big thing, what was getting into with me is he was working with the vets and they modified mini camp where they're not really going to do like a mini camp, but they're still going to get their workouts in and still get time together. And it's like, that's such a smart move for guys who don't know each other to get off on the right foot. You're still doing workouts. You're still getting reps in. And it just, it's like when you move into a neighborhood and somebody knocks on your door, ring, 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 someone's at the door, and they brought a whole plate of casserole and some dessert. And they're like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. This is a peace offering. I hope we get along and we're friends for years to come. That's what he did.
Yep. That's exactly what he did. He welcomed them to the neighborhood.
He welcomed them to the neighborhood. And the Brandon Graham shirt was awesome. Like it looked cool, first of all. And two, I just genuinely think he believes in his players. Not that phony stuff that you hear from a lot of the coaches. So I'm all in on him. The one thing
we're going to get ice cream.
Yeah, see, that's and just like I think Dan Campbell will be good, but the biting the kneecaps off and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I wish I had a pet lion. Like, yeah, that's cool. It'll fly in Detroit because they're not good and you can win 4 games, but if you just try hard, but
he'll be able to get Peony Swell to kill people.
Yeah, exactly. And like the Joe Judge phoniness, we don't have to touch on again, but I've just, it's in college more so with these phony press conferences where they're just not genuine, but you could just tell Sirianni's a genuine guy.
It was the same thing with Jason Garrett for years. And he would just, sit up there and we're RKG. That was his thing. We're all about right kind of guys. You guys, even on the field, the clapping. They would, they would miss a 32-yard field goal to take the lead by 1, but then they'd still be down by 2. And he'd be like, great job, guys, on the sideline, trying to high five. And the players are walking past. I'm like, fuck you. We're still losing the game. And he's like,
yeah, that's a classic case of a guy who does not get people.
No, did not get it. If I'm the coach and you just missed a 32-yard field goal with 47 seconds left to win the game, I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, we're not having a clap party. This isn't preschool. We're not wrapping up the daycare.
Yeah.
I think Sirianni is the opposite of Chip Kelly. I think that's the best way you can describe it. Innovative offensive mind, but has the people skills to go with it. Where Chip Kelly was an innovative offensive mind who couldn't relate to anybody, couldn't even be bothered to go to a Christmas party, which is somehow the reason that he got fired. It's just he was a robot, and Sirianni actually gets people, roots for them, cares about his players. He is the anti-Chip Kelly.
I love that, but I
just
hate
thought
it.
of it just right now. I just thought of it right now.
It's true. Oh my God. Yeah. And I feel like he also, Howie has done better this draft and this offseason, but I feel like he'll be able to put Howie in his place too.
And I was thinking about this. Howie is out of chances. Like if this doesn't work, we can't blame it on Sirianni.
Yep.
I don't know if you can blame it on Jalen Hurts, depending on his performance, but it is pretty clear. Like who is getting blamed for this if another era of coach quarterback goes wrong? Because he's on his fourth coach, and most GMs don't get 4 coaching opportunities.
No,
we know who's getting blamed.
Him. He has to.
Yeah, it's at the point he's run out of chances. So
if he doesn't, then Laurie needs to just fire himself.
I know, because it'll never change. One more thing on Sirianni, and then we can jump over to the Cowboys. No one's been talking about this, and I need to bring it up.
Okay.
Have you seen the scar on Sirianni's leg?
I have not.
It's not like we'll have Vince put it in post-production for everyone to see. I have scars on my leg from everything from sports, from baseball, to one time I jumped out of a pool, not into a pool, and hit the septic tank or whatever. And there's a huge scar on my knee. His leg, and those are like little scars, and my knee's pretty banged up. It looks like he got bit by a shark. Like part of his leg is missing.
Do we know what happened?
I don't know. And no one is saying, I didn't know that it existed. And now I can't get an answer as to why it is what it is. But it literally looks like it is thick enough and long enough that it could have, oh, that's what she said, that he could have lost his leg.
Could it have been like a intense rock, paper, scissors battle? Where like someone like stabbed him with a scissor?
I was about to say, like, if he lost and someone threw the scissors at his leg and stabbed him. It looks like someone took the scissors down his calf muscle.
Like he pulled paper and the guy was like, nope. Scissors.
Yeah. It's scary. Like, did you almost lose your leg?
We're gonna have to find out about this.
I need a deep dive investigation. This is the hard hitting thing. We can go 0-17, but I am getting to the bottom of this leg thing.
Next week, when Coach Nick Sirianni is on with us, we will ask him first thing about the leg.
Do you think that'd be unprofessional? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just genuinely like, this is probably a really good story of how I almost lost my leg and then ended up coach of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, like, Coach, welcome to the show. Really excited to have you on here. I think you're going to do great things with the Eagles. Before we get to the Slim Reaper and what you're going to do with the offense, what's with the fucking scar on the leg?
You know what? He'd probably be really excited that we let it off without a Jalen Hurts question.
No one's asked me about this. I'm so excited to talk about it.
Yeah. He doesn't have to talk about Jalen Hurts or Joe Flacco. We'll just be like, so what happened to your leg?
Have you ever been to a frat party?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I jumped off a balcony.
Oh, God. It has to. I hope it's something cool and not like, hope like he saved a baby that was being attacked by a shark and he reached into the water. Something cool.
Mm-hmm. I think someone should ask instead of asking him 700 questions about Jalen Hurts.
All right. I'm going to have to look this up now, too.
Yeah, look it up. We'll have Vince put it in post-show. That's enough on the Eagles. Let's transition over to the Cowboys here.
All right. So, Dallas Cowboys, not a whole lot going on. They completed their rookie mini camp. First things first, they brought in a couple arms. I don't know if you saw this, Aiden, to throw to the rookies. They brought in JT Barrett, former Ohio State star. Not going to sign with the team. He had a less than stellar performance throwing, threw a couple interceptions, one to Jabril Cox. So not going to be staying on with the team. Apparently these guys don't even get paid to come throw in minicamp. They get like the plane ticket there and like maybe the pair of shorts that they wore. And that it's
Really?
like, okay, see ya. That's what I was hearing. Yeah.
I'd assume you at least get the paycheck for the day.
I guess maybe it's more of like, if you want your shot, come throw to these rookies. If not, thank you.
Yeah, but like if you're an extra in a movie or a TV show, they pay you for your day's work.
Mm-hmm.
That's like your starting shot.
Nothing. That's what I hear. So
that's lame.
He is not being signed by the Cowboys. So as of right now, they still have Cooper Rush, Ben DiNucci, and Garrett Gilbert as the backups. There's been rumors that they're now talking to Brett Hundley, the former Green Bay Packer, which I wouldn't mind. He stepped in a couple times for Green Bay and performed okay. I don't know. I don't know if they can go into the season with the backup quarterbacks that they have. But at the same time, if Dak goes down again, this team's not winning with any backup quarterback they sign now. So maybe you just roll with what you have and pray that, the fluke injury that happened to Dak doesn't happen again, which it, knock on wood, probably won't. But to the rookies, one of the stars of minicamp, from all the reports that I read, from the videos I watched, was Bohanna, the big defensive tackle that they got from University of Kentucky. Dallas hasn't had like a one technique, just a big run stuffing, big fuck in a long time. And that's what this dude is, and that's what he's going to be. And even Dan Quinn, like in every interview, he hasn't really given away where guys are going to be positioned, how they're going to be played. A little bit like with Keanu Neal is going to be playing, linebacker and safety. But he was like, he's going to line up over the center and just push the line.
Buddy, you got one job. Take up space right there in the middle.
And I saw a quote from him. He's like, linebackers love playing with me. Haven't had one complaint of a linebacker I've ever played with.
I bet.
I clear the space for them so they can do their jobs. And I love that. He knows what his job is, and that's what he's going to do.
Yep. It's like a white guy in basketball who is like the fifth best player on the court. You are going to stand on the wing, and we're going to kick it to you, and you're going to shoot a three. And you're going to take the technical free throws. Perfect. And that's it.
And all the reports, too, he's not like a sloppy big dude. Like, he's actually like built and plays with power, and he has a little bit of speed to him too. So I'm excited to see what he brings, because like I said, they signed on Terry Poe last year. He was a joke. I mean, Gerald McCoy, he got injured, and now it's coming out to light again that Dallas has no interest in re-signing him. But they haven't had a guy like this, like a Vita Vea type guy ever. So I'm really excited for what he brings. Staying on the defensive side, I'm kind of go from like the back end of the draft up. The cornerback that performed best so far in minicamp was Nashawn Wright, the cornerback from Last Chance U from Oregon State. He had a pick.
The seventh round grade.
7th round grade in the 3rd round or 4th round? 3rd round, because they took him before Jabril Cox. Or was it the 4th? It was the 4th. Jabril was in the 5th. But
I'm pretty sure it's 3rd.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm just trying to take that out of my mind that they did that. But he had an interception. It was described as though you could tell he's been working out nonstop and that he is prepared. So we'll see. I mean, I'm not going to get overly optimistic saying he's going to be a starting cornerback day one, coming out of Oregon State with a 7th round grade that they could have got as probably a defensive free agent, but they got him in the 3rd round. But if he can contribute to this team, if he can be a project long-term, I'm excited about it. The other cornerback that they drafted from South Carolina, the other tall drink of water, they're just gonna have a bunch of trees out there. They have a basketball team in the secondary, basically. They're all 6'6", 6'7". He's being transferred transferred from corner to safety. So he's going to be playing safety for the Cowboys. And former Dallas Cowboys defensive back Barry Church, who now works for the Dallas Cowboys in media. He's always on with our guy Kyle Yeomans. Shout out Yeomans. Loves this kid. Says he has the opportunity to become a real safety in this league and become a safety that the Dallas Cowboys haven't had since, I don't know, Charles Woodson maybe, who, again, don't know how he's not in the Hall of Fame, but that's another story for another time. No.
Oh.
It's fucking wild.
I thought he already was.
Nope. He is not a Hall of Famer. I know. So he's playing well as well. Boss Man Fat, their second-round pick, number one corner who's supposed to be starting, apparently showed up not fully ready to play. As Brian Broaddus says, Deshaun Wright, you could tell he's been working out. Boss Man Fat seemed like he did his pro day and then kind of shut it down and was just like, all right, well, I'm going to go somewhere in the second round, and really hasn't been working out. Looked a little better on day 2 rather than day 1. His movement apparently wasn't very quick, wasn't fluid. But again, just as though I'm not going to be very excited for Deshaun Wright having a good rookie minicamp, I'm not going to freak out about Calvin Joseph, not having a great first 2 days of rookie minicamp. And then staying on that side of the ball, Jabril Cox and Micah Parsons apparently were playing great. They were using Jabril Cox kind of up the field to kind of bring the tight ends up the field, carry them up. That's where he had his one interception during camp. It was actually tipped by Micah Parsons. And then Jabril Cox was there to clean it up. So very excited for what he can do. And apparently a lot of the time, Aiden, you may find this interesting, they were playing Micah on the end of the line as like a stand-up defensive end. So they were thinking about having like Randy Gregory on one end, having Neville Gallimore in there, Bohanna, and then having DeMarcus Ware kick in, and then having Parsons on the end kind of rushing the passer.
Micah played defensive end in high school, and then they made him transition to linebacker to utilize his speed, and he wasn't big enough to play defensive end. So it makes sense if you're going to use him as a modified speed rusher, maybe on third downs and stuff like that. I can see that being a thing and being successful.
I think what their goal is that they want to obviously turn him into an all-around player. But I think if they still have their eyes set on Leighton Vander Esch playing this year and Jalen Smith, this is another way of getting him on the field. Because, I mean, you have to get the 11th overall pick.
Yeah.
On the field. You can't just be like, well, we have these 2 other linebackers. So, no, he's got to play. So they're going to find ways, and Dan Quinn's going to find ways of getting him on the field, which I'm excited for. And speaking of Dan Quinn, you're going to hate this, but I love what I'm seeing out of him, man. He seems like a teacher. He's a real coach. I'm not saying I don't think he's a head coach, but he's a teacher. The dude knows defense. He did it in Seattle. Yes, he had, unbelievable talent there. Probably Hall of Fame linebackers and Hall of Fame safeties and corners and all that. But
go ahead, talk through it.
But he was out there playing defensive line, like in the middle, like literally lined up and was running the drill while coaching it. So it can't get worse than Mike Nolan. Okay. It just can't.
I was just saying that's true. That is true. He is an upgrade. I make fun of him a lot, but he is an upgrade, and he's definitely better suited as a defensive coordinator than an actual head coach.
Yes. So again, I'm going to stick with my Kellen Moore or Dan Quinn will be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys in 2022. I think it's definitely leaning towards Kellen Moore. Cowboys have a bad season this year. Mike McCarthy will be gone, and the keys will be handed over to Wonder Boy Kellen Moore. But I don't mind what I'm seeing out of Dan Quinn. And my last note, coming out of rookie camp, player that I am so excited for, and again, you're going to put your head down and put your hands in your face for this one, is Semi Fehoko, the wide receiver out of Stanford. This dude is not JJ Arcega-Whiteside, okay? He doesn't hold an umbrella over himself in the sun. He's a baller. He's a freak. He's an athlete, and he's a dog. And he is going to steal snaps from either Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown. Actually, Cedric Wilson or Noah Brown, one of them is not going to make this team because of him. He plays special teams, and I think he's going to mark it down right now. What is today's date? The 19th of May, 2021. He will be the eventual replacement for Michael Gallup because they're not going to pay Michael Gallup when his contract's up, and he will be the number 3 on the field behind CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper going forward after Michael Gallup leaves, and he's going to be good.
I thought you were going to say he was going to be the inevitable replacement of Amari Cooper, and I was like, okay, it's been 2 days of minicamp. Let's give the kid some time.
This year, he's going to make a couple catches, but he's going to mainly be a very good special teams player. But I do have optimism as well. Obviously, the news came out that they think that Dak's going to be full steam ahead from day one of training camp. So excited to hear that, obviously, especially after that mystery second surgery that he had that they didn't really tell anybody about. And was there a setback? Was there not? Was it, so this team goes as Dak Prescott goes. If the defense can be average or a little below average, just not, worst in the league, they have a chance to do something this year. Do I think they go down in Tampa week 1 and win? No, I think they start this season off 0-1, but you never know. And can we talk about this? Because I know we talked about it a little bit last week, but who was right?
Oh my God, are we still doing this?
You and me. I was in an airport. I wasn't really paying attention.
You texted me about it. You said it on the show. Could you speak in your Apple Watch and remind me again that you said that the Cowboys would be the first game of the season against the Bucs? You were right.
So hold on here. Let's see. Apple Watch. Where's the Cowboys were always going to face the Bucs in week 1 of the season. Send it.
Thanks. I'll check my my not iPhone Apple Watch, and I'll check my phone after this show. Oh, it just came through. Oh, look at that. Look at technology.
Bang.
It just popped up. How about that?
But there is an opportunity that I may be at that game. So kind of excited for that.
The Cowboys he's going to face the Bucs in week 1 of the season. Send it. Close. Yeah.
It's perfect. Send it.
Yeah. Send it. Yeah. Honestly, send it. Go to the game. Enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll have to be live from there. But yeah, so we'll see. That was my notes from rookie minicamp. Excited for some, worried about others. That's pretty much
how I live my life.
What I got.
Excited for some days, worried about others.
Worried about most.
Worried about most. Yeah.
All right.
I think any more notes for you on the Cowboys? Because I think I'm good on the Eagles.
No, I mean, we'll definitely have some Cowboys guests sprinkled in coming up, like we always do with our Eagles guests. So stay tuned for that. It won't just be me and Aiden talking caffeine and Cowboys.
I liked it.
I've
been big on guests lately and talking to people and stuff like that, but then I liked where it went instead today.
Me too.
So.
Me too. All right, before we get you out of here, this is one of Vince's favorite things. Yes, the TikToks, but also short episodes. So we'll get you out of here under an hour today. But we are going to do our TikToks. I can see you yawning, and that means you're not on your caffeine. So you're going to have to drink some coffee or something.
I got to figure out something. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it is 9:20. That is usually on non-recording nights. I'm in bed by 9:30.
See, I go to bed at midnight. This is bad. And I don't even plan on going to bed. We got Warriors Lakers in 40 minutes.
know,
I'm not
I
even
know.
close to going to bed.
No.
And I come home and I'm exhausted, which is probably a good thing because now I get a full 8 hours of sleep and don't
Go.
sit in bed and watch 3 episodes of Netflix and think about every bad thing that's ever happened to me in my life and like every awkward moment I've ever been in. But yeah, I need to figure out. What's that?
Stop at a Starbucks, double espresso, just down it.
And that's another thing. You spend money on it every day.
Mhm.
That's another thing I don't like about coffee. At my old work, at least they had a coffee machine. It was a Starbucks machine. So you could go up and you can get an espresso every single day. But like if I had to drive through a Starbucks and spend money, and I know it's only $2.50, but if I spend $2.50 every day, I'm a peasant. I can't be doing $2.50 every day. That adds up to like, what's $2.50 times 30? That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's like $67. No chance.
No, that's why you need the machine at home. That's what I do. I don't even right at home.
I gotta figure out something. If anyone has recommendations,
Send them.
Yeah. Send any realistic ones.
Mm-hmm.
Please do not text me about drugs.
We don't need that.
No.
We don't need that.
No.
All right. Is it TikTok time?
It is TikTok time. In light of the Ryan Kerrigan signing with the Philadelphia Eagles, our TikTok tonight, we are doing best defensive lines in the NFL.
I'm a little
Vince-
nervous for this one.
Vince is not here, so we really got to carry this one. I'm sure there's somebody that I forgot, but I don't know. Looking at my list, it looks pretty reasonable. So
You guys
I'm
said-
a little bit.
I thought you did best lines. I didn't. Can we be more? I'm gonna play Vince. I'm just gonna do that. All right. So
Okay, go for it.
and then I'll be Vince.
Okay, so
All right,
you're
so
gonna.
we'll do
I'm
the
gonna go.
triangle.
You're gonna go, and then you're gonna go
And then I'll
again.
be
But
Vince,
you're gonna
yeah.
be Vince.
Mhm.
Okay, you can think of 5 different lines.
I'll do it off the top of my head.
Okay. All right. At 5, I have the Arizona Cardinals. They probably would have been higher, and I know they signed J.J. Watt, but they lost Hassan Reddick in the offseason. They'll still be a top 5 defensive line to me.
And because they have Chase Edmonds.
Yes. He boosts the whole team. His morale just boosts everybody up.
Yep. All right. 5 for me. I have your Philadelphia Eagles. I think there are a couple more teams ahead of them that are a little bit better, but they absolutely deserve to be in the top 5. So Philadelphia Eagles, especially with the addition of Ryan Kerrigan. Vince here. Squiggly lines.
All the way at 5. I thought they would have been top 3.
It's there's so many good lines out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. That's going to be tough to top. At 4, I have Washington football team, 47 sacks a year ago, and it's safe to assume that Chase Young is going to get even better.
Mm-hmm.
I was almost going to say Chase Edmonds.
4 for me, coming off of a lot of injuries. Nick Bosa will be back. I am putting the 49ers. Can't put them any higher because we have to see how they play now that they're going to be getting healthy, but 49ers at 4. Vince here, 4 for me. I'm going to do the old dotted line.
Okay, squiggly, then dotted. That's an interesting.
Mm-hmm. I think the dotted just a little bit, the dashes a little bit nicer than the squiggle.
You're going to have to get creative with these top 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At 3, I have the Philadelphia Eagles, 3.1 sacks per game a year ago. They didn't lose anybody from that defensive line, and then they added Ryan Kerrigan.
So number 3 for me, I am staying in the state of Pennsylvania. I am putting the Pittsburgh Steelers. I love TJ Watt more than anything. He should be a Dallas Cowboy. He deserves to be in the top 3 just himself.
Taco.
Drafted a grown man named after a taco. All right. Number 3 for Vince here. Power lines. If we didn't have power lines, you wouldn't be able to do anything. We wouldn't have this podcast. We wouldn't have anything. Power lines.
That's actually a really good one. I didn't know you were going with that. That's actually really, really good. All right. At 2, I have the team you just mentioned, the Pittsburgh Steelers. They did lose Bud Dupree, but as long as they have TJ Watt, they're going to be top 5. They led the league in sacks per game a year ago.
Number 2 for me, they added Jadeveon Clowney, even though he did nothing last year. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with. The Cleveland Browns.
Vince here. Number 2 for me. I know this is a sports show. Didn't think we were going to talk all about sports, but I got to put something kind of sports in there. The goal line. Got to pass it to score a touchdown. Let's go.
Wow. These have been pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'll do my one. I got distracted for a second by imaginary Vince. Also, I don't know if you saw, but someone was doing a fake. Do you know these like artificial fakes of human faces that you can do? And someone did one of Dave Portnoy, and we're trying to like fake being him by using his actual face. And they were doing like a cryptocurrency scam.
Ooh.
I'm hoping we can figure out the technology just for one simple TikTok of putting Vince's face over your face with the words that you say.
Oh, that would be phenomenal.
All right. Coming in at number 1, I have the Los Angeles Rams, another team that averaged over 3 sacks per game a year ago. And just like TJ Watt, as long as they have Aaron Donald, they're going to be in the top 3.
Yeah, I don't have them in my... I know anybody listening or watching on TikTok, they're 6. So 1 for me is Washington. I mean, they're a force to be reckoned with. Chase Young is an animal. Allen is a freak. They put so many first-round draft picks on that defensive line. Maybe it's just because it's so close as a Cowboys fan, and I see what they do and what they did last year. They killed Andy Dalton. They murdered a man during a Sunday football game. So that's just ingrained in my head. Could the Rams be here? Maybe I take the Eagles out. Yes, but I'm going Washington 1.
All right, guys. This is inappropriate for any young people listening on TikTok, so please mute. I hope this does not get us kicked off of TikTok, but I'm going to do lines of cocaine.
I knew that was coming. What a solid
Coke lines.
Coke lines. What a solid list that ended up being. I don't know. Vince is on the hot seat.
He's out.
And the toilet seat.
And I didn't even have no prep. Literally just off the top of the head right here as we went.
That was fantastic.
Squiggly, dotted, power, goal line, Coke line. That's a Vince. That's
Boom.
A Vince if you've ever seen or heard him.
Vince to a T. All right. Well, I'm good for tonight. Thank you to everyone who tuned into the caffeine special featuring no caffeine.
None.
We'll be back next week. Hopefully Vince will be healthy again. Like we talked about, talking to a few different guests, finalizing the schedule here for the offseason to get everybody on, and subscribe on YouTube, over 100 subscribers. We talked about the TikTok, and follow on. We should give Vince a shout out for the Twitter because he had a very funny tweet go viral. He can pop it in for YouTube if he wants, but follow it on Twitter because that's blown up with a few viral tweets recently too.
We love you all. Thank you for listening. Spread the wealth, spread the love. Tell your friends, tell your family. Birds versus boys. Get on the train now before it's too late. Well, it'll never be too late. We'll always let people jump on the bandwagon. But just do it now.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things.
I got 2 phones.
Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there. There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.